Hey guys, Nina here, welcoming you to another reading from the Ladies of Horror Picture Prompt Monthly Challenge, hosted by Elaine Pascale on her channel, The Godmother of Horror. If you'd like to read along or read previously published pieces, please visit spreadingthewritersword.com or ladiesofhorror.com. In the meanwhile, enjoy the reading.
You'll Never Walk Alone by Donna J.W. Munro. Corey stood in the bright square of light projected by her living room window, admiring the sharp edges of her shadow against the snow-covered front lawn. The velvety black of her thin, short shape stretched across the lawn and out into the cracked asphalt street beyond. All the other houses stood dark against the night, and have been for weeks. Only 1 in a million alive last time she could find an operating internet signal. She'd never been 1 in a million before. She moved away from the window, flicking off the switch so the house was bathed in the same darkness as the others on the street. No need to waste the energy. Well, that's what she told herself anyway. The truth was, darkness felt better sometimes. She walked into the kitchen to make something for dinner. She had to eat. She'd gotten all the canned food of the neighborhood carted back, everything she could find, even when she had to step over the rotting lumps that used to be her neighbors. 1 in a million meant there were other people still alive, right? That's what she repeated to herself as she warmed the Campbell's chicken soup and forced it down, sipping water to try to settle it in to be digested. Nothing tasted right, but she had to eat because someday she'd see another shadow spilling out of the moonlight, walking up the street to rescue her. She was Rapunzel in the tower, Aurora sleeping in her unnatural bed. She was scrawny, wearing kids' clothes now because fat didn't stick to her anymore, graying because the hair dye had run out. Eyes droopy and encircled with dark, sagging skin because when the pills at CVS to help you sleep had run out, alcohol and other recreational relaxers didn't drive the images of Mary from next door drying out on her deck like jerky from her mind. She shook her head and pulled on her coat. There weren't many joys in being 1 in a million. Loneliness? Plenty. Anger? That too. She grabbed 2 pairs of socks and the skates she'd had since college. It was cold enough. Walking down the snow-dusted sidewalk, Corey watched her shadow spill long and then short as the pools of light grew bright under the street lamps and faded in between. The pond was frozen, and back when all the neighbors were still alive, it would be crowded with kids racing and teens playing hockey and people like her who knew how to spin and leap and dip on skates as smoothly as Finch in flight. She'd been on America's team back in the day, a competitive skater. It had always annoyed her when she had to share the ice with the whole damn town, but now that she had it all to herself. Still, she had the skills and the moonlight and all that perfect ice. Sometimes there's a choreographed, scoreable method of skating to do when people are watching. But since the world went to shit, she just skate until her legs quivered and the sweat soaks her hair through. When the ice was clear and her blades hissed across the skin of the pond and the air bit her lungs, it was a joy unlike anything else. It was almost enough. Especially when she spun and she looked down to see the 4 of her, Corey and her 3 shadows spinning under the bright cross spotlights of the park. Together a dark flower glinting under the light of the moon. She was beautiful, breathless, full of strength. In those perfect spins and jumps, the world felt like it might right itself. And as long as she kept spinning with her shadows, she could keep believing that she wasn't alone.